after all the free agency and the NFL draft are finally out of the way, we're at an exciting time of the year. Voluntary OTAs have started. So we're finally getting some highlight videos, players back on the field, player press conferences, coaching press conferences, starting to see a little bit of the philosophy on field of Coach Kevin O'Connell. And I'm excited to see where this is going to go, man. I mean, obviously, there's been a bunch of news coming out about Danielle Hunter, za'darius Smith have been kind of going on as outside linebackers, standing up, edge rushing, the hand in the dirt defensive ends, of course.
Yeah.
But one of the more intriguing things that I think I've heard to start is that second-year quarterback Kellen Mond is starting to get some reps with the second team. And when I read that, I'm like, finally, a coach is actually going to invest in this guy.
Right.
Like, I'm super excited to see where that goes. Yeah, man. It's just fun to see players back on the field. No contact yet, of course, but just seeing players back on the field. Like I said, seeing those highlight videos, listening to the players talk about the experiences so far. It's been great. It's been great. Yeah. Football's in the air again, man. It never sleeps.
Right. Yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I'm excited for these. We just had rookie mini camp. So seeing them on the field and stuff, I mean, they don't do a ton during that, but yeah, I mean, we're rolling. Kellen Mond, like you said, is getting second team reps. And, we mentioned, or I think we mentioned this before too. It's just the fact that we didn't draft any quarterbacks in the last draft showed that maybe there was some solid hope for Kellen Mond. We didn't really get a good look at him last year. So as us fans, we didn't really know what to expect out of Kellen Mond. But yeah, him getting second team reps, it really shows that Kevin O'Connell wants to take a deep look and to see who he has in Kellen Mond. And, you never know. We might have our next franchise quarterback on our roster.
Yeah, man. Never know. But anyway, let's dive into some of the other news of the early process of OTAs. How about that?
Let's do that. And then before we do that, I want to thank everyone for watching the GG Sport podcast. Like Casey said last week, he quit his job. My jobs are always spotty, and it's grind time. So we would love for anybody to hit that subscribe button. We're on our road to 1,000 subscribers, trying to get monetized, make a little money off this. Whatever happens. But most importantly, it's all about the Minnesota Vikings. So let's roll into this. So
obviously, we already kind of mentioned this,
but
Kevin Seifert here, lots of questions about quarterback Kellen Mond. He appeared to be sharing second team reps with Sean Mannion.
Let's go.
Kevin O'Connell said he was very interested to see Mond on the field and get a sense for what he might or might not be ready for. So it's good. It's good to see that they're taking an investment in a young quarterback who last year was drafted early. The third round is pretty early. And Kevin O'Connell is going to give the guy a fair shake. They brought in Jared Johnson, former quarterback at Texas A&M, knows Kellen Mond. I think Kellen Mond broke a bunch of his records. So it's just like, it's refreshing to see a young quarterback Minnesota Vikings are actually going to invest in. Work behind Kirk Cousins for a couple of years, man, and see where it goes. So,
yeah, I mean, third round pick on him. It's worth definitely looking into, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because you never know. You never know what he's going to
I mean, we're rooting for him to be that second quarterback. We're really rooting to him over Sean Mannion any day. So hopefully he takes not only those reps, but by the end of the offseason, hopefully he takes that second spot. And maybe he just does so well, he takes that first spot.
Yeah, definitely. Another little funny tweet I saw from Kevin Seifert here. So there were looks when Danielle Hunter and za'darius Smith, who I'd mentioned earlier, had their hands down as DEs, and others when they were standing up as outside linebackers. Danielle Hunter did say that they're both practicing with the outside linebackers, so that's probably different for Danielle. Used to be in the edge rusher, but they're indicating they're unlikely to be used on offense, and this is them playing catch. And I thought this was hilarious when I saw it. And hey, nice one-handed catch by Danielle Hunter there.
Yeah, they got to get ready to have some chances at interceptions this year.
Right. But so I thought that was kind of fun. Good to see these two, though. They're so fun listening to za'darius Smith. The guy's got so much enthusiasm.
Right.
Leader already. And it's just good to see. It's good. It's good to see za'darius.
It's going to be huge for our defense, man. He's a perfect personality and talent.
Yep. And week one starts off, him and Danielle Hunter sack Aaron Rodgers eight times combined, calling it right now.
Let's go.
But in other news, from Minnesota Vikings here, Chad Graff says, notes from the first week of OTAs. And we kind of alluded to this maybe happening, but Jesse Davis and Chris Reed are rotating at right guard with Garrett Bradbury as a starting center. Obviously, you read Garrett Bradbury starting center, you cringe a little bit. But again, Kevin O'Connell's coming in, giving everybody a fair shake. Maybe there is something that they saw in him that wasn't being utilized correctly under the previous regime. So you never know there. But obviously, Chris Reed, Jesse Davis, Chris Reed is eventually starting at center. Who knows? Really interesting. What's up?
I just want to mention that JC Treader is still out there. So, there's still a chance.
Bring him in. Nothing handed to rookies. This is what I like to see. I get it. You got these guys you drafted early. You want them to come in and compete. Seen and Ingram are both starting with the backups to start OTAs, which is fine. Make them earn their team. I 100% agree with that. Surprise! I mean, we don't see anything about Andrew Booth on here. He did mention during rookie minicamps he had his hernia surgery in the offseason. He's still recovering from that. He wasn't able to get on field at all, but he did say he's close. Probably within the next couple of weeks here, we'll start to see him jump onto the field. Just excited to see what's gonna happen with him. But even seeing, first round pick, make him earn it, because you got Harrison Smith. Obviously, he's not supplanting Harrison Smith, but you got Cam Bynum, who has been taking first team reps up to this point in OTAs. Yeah, and he deservedly so. He played really well last year when he got on the field. But
I do like that. I do like the idea of not just handing anybody any starting positions. This is something that Zimmer did, and I like that he did do that. The thing with Zimmer is I feel like he made it really hard for a rookie to, even if a rookie was really impressing and growing quickly, I still felt like he still wasn't letting a rookie take a starting spot. It's almost like you're not allowed to until mid-season, and we have no choice to put you in or whatever. So I'm hoping with these guys, if they do see any of these players practice a lot better than these veterans that we already have, I'm hoping they're not afraid to put them into the starting lineup.
Right. And vice versa. I have high hopes for a guy like Lewis Seen. But if you don't think he's ready and you think Cam Bynum's playing well, start buying him at safety.
You got to do what you got to do. Put the best players on the field.
You can't take it as a bad thing, BC Johnson, that's a name I like to hear. BC Johnson, back from his ACL tears, wide receiver 4. I like BC. He started over JJ in his rookie season. He's not going to be a wide receiver 2, but as a depth piece, he played really well as a rookie 7th round pick. I like BC Johnson. The guy worked hard. He's a good dude, good receiver. As wide receiver 4, him competing with the likes of
ISM
Marset and Jalen Naylor for that 4th receiver spot. I'm cool with that. Let's let it run, man. I'm happy to see it.
That's going to be an underrated battle. That's going to be kind of fun to watch during training camp, I think.
For sure. And then obviously exciting news, Irv Smith running some routes as well. You'll love to see it.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. And yesterday, thought it was really interesting. Speaking of, the way that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is going over things. I put a tweet out yesterday, and I just thought as now I wanted to bring it up. You like to see that. It's interesting. Speaking of people being a little more open here, Kwesi is much more open than Rick Spielman was. He put out a quote about obviously understanding since we kind of talked about Lewis Seen with the trade he made with the Lions. He kind of talked about understanding that people are kind of going to look negatively on it, but he said that. And this kind of goes back to, starting somebody over your first round pick if need be. He said, you got to bring feelings out of the way, and you got to go with what's best, what you think is best for your team. And I like to see that mindset of, is it unorthodox to trade within the division? Sure. He's not dumb. He knows that every time a guy like Jameson Williams torches us, he's going to hear about it. But what he thought was right. And like I said, if starting, for him and O'Connell, if Seen starting as a backup is what they think is right, then go right ahead and do it. Whatever you think is best for the football team, that's what you need to do. So,
I like that. I mean, you gotta, it's good to know that our GM is more worried about what's best for our team than worried that people are going to mock him later on for his decisions. And he's like, if he was more worried about what people are going to think about him, that would not be good for a GM, because of course, like he said, that, every time Jameson Williams scores on us or something, they're going to show Kwesi, this big trade or whatever. And Kwesi just can't care about stuff like that because at the end of the day, you're just trying to help our team.
And he said it himself. He's like, and if you're a person that cares about that, you can't be in the chair of the GM because you're not going to be good at it. So
no.
Yeah.
No emotions allowed.
Speaking of Kwesi, finally starting to finish off his front office hires here. He brought in Demetrius Washington from, I believe he was with the 49ers previously. He was he was head of the research and development. Kwesi has brought him on as a VP of football operations. I believe the position that we hired Kwesi from the Browns. So, and Kwesi said about him, he's one of the most uniquely gifted people I met in my time in the NFL. Another analytics background guy. that's the way the NFL is going. Obviously, that's how Kwesi's building his front office with analytics guys that think outside the box when it comes to NFL moves, and they're not like your standard work your way up through the ranks of scout and that type of mindset. So really interesting, really interesting hire here. Obviously, Kwesi's probably going to be his right hand man in that office. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to see what that's good. I believe Rob Brzezinski is still director of football operations. So, which makes sense. He's the money guy. He's the salary capologist guy. Does a really good job. But getting a differing mindset in that front office with him is going to be a very nice hire, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to read this real quick. Washington has 9 years of NFL experience. He's got started as a game charter intern with the Browns in 2013, was hired by the 49ers in 2015, where Washington worked with Kwesi for 5 years and San Francisco in the R&D department. And then when Kwesi was hired by the Browns to be their VP of football operations, Washington took over as manager of that department. And I also want to say this is something that Kwesi says. We couldn't have been more excited to have Demetrius join the Vikings front office. He's one of the most uniquely gifted people I've met in my time in the NFL. You kind of already said that. He is able to learn complex ideas, make them simple, and apply them in all facets of the organization. He has learned from some of the best minds in the game today and will continue to flourish in his role with the Vikings. So, yeah, I mean, Kwesi thinks really high from him, and in Kwesi we trust, you know?
Yeah, right. You got to trust your GM to make those decisions. So, and then I believe you had some undrafted free agent news, right?
Yeah. So we had one undrafted free agent from rookie mini camp that we have signed, linebacker. I think he's from Temple. I don't see it right away. I believe he's from 60s. So I'll read that real quick after this. But William, I'm gonna screw this up, but Quenku. What did you think it was? How do you pronounce his last name? Quenku. Yeah, terrible at pronouncing names sometimes. But anyways, he spent 6 seasons at Temple playing in 47 games, tallying 131 tackles with 10 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. He's kind of an undersized linebacker, but it's another physical or athletic freak. He had elite athletic traits with the 40-yard dash and all that stuff. So that's really good to see.
And you kind of get the feeling that that's the direction that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connor are taking this. You know, a lot of the guys they drafted aren't like your prototypical, like they were really good here in this position, or really good at this fundamentally.
Right.
But they're all athletic. They're going
very athletic
build on that defense at the very least.
Over height too. Because even Asamoah is kind of like that perfect example.
Yep.
And but no, we wanted to mention this too, is like we have a soft spot for these rookie mini camps because we got our guys CJ Ham and Adam Thielen, who came from the same place.
Yep.
Where they just got invited to rookie mini camps and impressed enough to get on a roster and, you know, turn that into Pro Bowl football players for our team and some of the most important players even today for our Vikings team. So you never know if this can be the next guy like that. I mean, obviously he's not a Minnesota native,
right?
But still.
Another interesting thing from the tryouts, we brought in former Packer quarterback Brett.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just like, you know, every other quarterback coming after Aaron Rodgers for the Packers, it just didn't work out. So it is what it is. Any other news we got here? I think
that's about it. Obviously, OTAs are still going. There's going to be more stuff to talk about, but it's cool to get it rolling and kind of getting an idea who they plan on at least starting the season, or not the season, but the off season off, and in which positions. I think for me, I was really excited to see Kellen Mond get a shot at some of these second team reps, because it means that he's going to get the opportunity to become that quarterback number 2. So
yeah. Speaking of Kellen Mond, the guy deserves a good guy award for this last week. I believe what the story was is I can't remember where he said he was shopping, somewhere in Minneapolis, and he ended up he was walking into the store or whatever and overheard a guy talking about getting his bike stolen, I believe. So he offered the guy a bike, went in and bought him a bike. So there you go.
This week, I didn't even know that.
Right? Yeah. Pro athletes, man. Everybody gives. Sometimes they get a bad rep, but give Kellen Mond some props. He's not a super rich. He just signed he was a 3rd round pick, so he doesn't get huge money from that rookie contract. But still, passing along the wealth and giving a guy in need a bike. And he mentioned he's going to try to keep in contact with them and that type of stuff. So good on you. Right. Good on you, Kellen. Good on
Yes,
you for the
definitely.
future franchise quarterback.
Hey, let's go.
I love to see it. So that'll do
But
it for this episode of the
yeah,
GG Sports Podcast. If you guys enjoyed, smash that like button for us. Comment your thoughts on our thoughts on all this news up to this point. Let us know what you think about OTAs so far. If you want to check out some of our other videos, there will be a link right up here for you guys. Most importantly, do not forget we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers.
let's go.
Click the subscribe button down here. Click it down in the corner wherever you want to find it. Help us out a lot. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of the GG Sports Podcast.
SKOL Vikes.